Sal, I've done enough shows with you over the years to know that when it comes to Daniel Jones, you're tired of excuses. You don't want to hear him anymore. You don't want to hear about offensive line, no weapons. But how can the Giants do anything offensively when he keeps getting hammered?
They can't. And you're right. Normally, I don't make excuses. You're watching the individual perform. However, this is so extreme. And, Eamon, remember, it's off of a year last year where we actually saw Daniel Jones have some success consistently for the first time in his career. So this year, it's total regression, but he doesn't have Thomas there. He doesn't have Barkley. And the offensive line is as bad as I've seen ever in my life watching an offensive line. So Jones hasn't been good, but I don't know that there's any quarterback alive that would succeed behind that offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, you can say regression, and he certainly has, but everything, I think he's trying to force things now, and that's why he that interception last week, I mean, the guy drops back and all he sees is people coming at him every time. That's the worst offensive line I've seen, and there's been some bad ones in recent years. So, if I'm him, I'm not rushing back, that's for sure, to play against the Bills in Buffalo on Sunday. I don't know how they're going to figure this out because they got so many problems that Jones is not. I mean, he's a problem, but he's not the big issue for me.
It really is amazing this franchise has just not been able to figure out the offensive line. Obviously, Thomas being out is a major blow, but they just have not had any continuity with that unit. Oh, by the way, as Harp mentioned, the Bills lead the NFL in sacks, so that should be fun for the Giants. All right, now to the Jets. Harp, they now have to deal with more injury issues on their O-line as well. How will the absence of Alijah Vera-Tucker impact Zach Wilson against the Eagles and beyond?
Well, he might be their best offensive lineman, right? So, I mean, look, you're finally starting to see some progress here with Wilson, so it's too bad because this team looks like it maybe has a chance to get it together and make a little bit of a run here. But it's going to put him in a bind because, again, he's another guy. If he has to if he doesn't have time, if he can't get the ball out of his hand right away, he did make a nice adjustment a couple times the other day, but he still has trouble seeing the field from everything we've seen and heard from him. So I think it's a big issue because he's a guy that needs protection probably as much as anybody.
Here's the good news for Jet fans. There's always next year. I mean, it's all, oh, come on. You got to be realistic here. You lost Aaron Rodgers 4 snaps in, the season was really over. And then you want to have some hope, and the defense this, and maybe running the ball that. Without Vera-Tucker, they have no chance. Zach Wilson isn't good enough. I'm not knocking him for his entire career, but he's still learning. There was an obvious reason why they went out and got Rodgers. So they're not good enough to overcome a significant loss like this. They weren't good enough with him. Without Vera-Tucker, the Jets have no chance.
And Breece Hall finally getting his bearings going and making some explosive plays. You wonder if that hurts the running game so they can load up the box and really make Wilson hurt him. All right, time now for Monday overreactions. Sal, what's on your mind after Sunday football?
The Dallas Cowboys are dead. They stink. Oh, my goodness, I'm tired of hearing about it. No, we go nuts because they spanked the Giants on Sunday night. They take care of the Jets. Then they lose to the Cardinals. They get embarrassed by the 49ers, who are clearly the better team than the Cowboys. We're talking about two best teams in the NFC. Nonsense. Cowboys not even probably in the top 5 in the NFC power rankings right now. So the Cowboys are frauds. They had a chance to prove themselves against the Niners, and they embarrassed themselves. Dak stinks. McCarthy's got to go. Cowboys are frauds.
If there are Cowboys fans living in Atlanta, they're about to bet the ranch on the Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. Harp, how about you?
Well, I'm with you on Dak, but I'd still take the Cowboys over the Giants because my overreaction is the Giants are the worst team in the NFL. Worse than the Cardinals, worse than the Broncos, worse than the Bears. They can't tackle anybody. I mean, the Dolphins should have hung 50 on them without a problem if it wasn't for Tua throwing a couple away.
Yeah.
The defense, they just don't tackle anybody. And so that's the biggest issue. Like the Jets, at least they can count a little bit on their defense, where the Giants, we talked about the offensive line. We don't know about Daniel Jones, and I just think they're not going to be able to stop anybody. So I think they're going 2-15, and they're going to maybe have a shot at one of these two quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're certainly looking like one of the worst teams in the NFL. Tough to argue that. My overreaction from Sunday, Bill Belichick is done in New England. It's over. You can't withstand this. Move on. This is the football coaching version of Willie Mays in the outfield in the World Series with the Mets.
Oh, man.
72-3 they've been outscored the last weeks. Oh, by the way, how did this team beat the Jets? They've played so bad, the Jets might actually beat Bill Belichick this year. Imagine that for Jet fans. If his last game as coach of the Patriots is a loss to the Jets, but he's not going to be able to survive this. He's the greatest coach in NFL history. I know he wants to pass Shula's record. This thing is
You're going to have to drag him out of there. You're going to have to drag him out of there.
Kraft might have to if he could put him out of his misery.
Well,
This thing's an absolute
but
mess.
he's earned the right to go out on his own terms. I mean, come on. It is
1 in
Bill
50,
Belichick.
1 in 16, 2 in 15.
Well, they're not going to lose to the Jets, I'll tell you that. Hasn't happened in how many years? Not happening this year either.
All right, so the Cowboys, Giants, and Patriots have combined for 15 Super Bowl titles, but the three of us just ended their season.